stop. Don't panic. Stop falling for the alarmism. Stop reading the screaming headlines. Stop thinking we're on the brink of the apocalypse. I know you're feeling overwhelmed. I know you're worried about your savings. I know the future feels uncertain. But let's be honest, we're just sailing through rough waters. Uncertainty has a price, sure, but it's not the end of the world. My first piece of advice, stop checking the news every 5 minutes. Stop obsessing over charts. And for heaven's sake, stop asking ChatGPT what your investments will do tomorrow. Because here's the thing, the media doesn't profit from calm. They profit from fear. That's their business model, and you're falling right into the trap. That's exactly why I made this video, to bring you clarity, to answer your questions. Without the unnecessary panic, Trump just dropped a bomb, a wave of tariffs no one saw coming, and it all stems from a deep misunderstanding of how the global economy actually works. But here's the bigger issue. We've forgotten history. The last major tariff waves in the US, 1828 and 1930. And guess what? Both triggered devastating recessions. It's just temporary, they say. Businesses will adapt, they repeat. We'll find new suppliers, they insist. Reality check? These tariffs were launched without a clear strategy, just thrown out there. And now we deal with the fallout. Let's be real. No one has a crystal ball. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. We're in the hands of politicians who change their minds like they change their shirts. The only thing we can do is observe, analyze, and plan. That's our power. Trump wants to eliminate the deficit, slash $1 trillion in public spending in a single year, run a budget surplus even. What's he afraid of? That every single dollar from the US government will go toward interest on the debt. Goodbye healthcare, goodbye pensions, goodbye education. And the numbers, yeah, they're scary. By 2035, US debt is expected to surpass $74 trillion. That's enough to make your head spin. His concerns make sense, but his actions, his tone, his strategy, that's a whole different story. If you can't sleep at night when the markets drop 10%, the problem isn't the markets. It's your portfolio. It's out of balance. We should be looking at historical data, not headlines. The S&P 500 has corrected by around 10% 38 times in history. It's normal. It happens. Drops of 20%, we've seen 15. About 1 every 6 years. Drops over 30%, rare, about once every 10-12 years. So if you're a long-term investor, why worry about today? Why check prices daily? It only adds anxiety. What you should do is check the fundamentals of the companies you've invested in. The rest is just noise. Let's lay out the numbers. 32% of our GDP comes from exports. Every year we export about $67 billion worth of goods to the US. That number's grown 50% since 2019. Only Germany exports more than we do. And now, all made in Italy products are hit by these tariffs. For many producers, the US makes up half their foreign market. You can't just find another buyer. Americans are the world's biggest consumers, period. And as if that weren't enough, China, hit with a 54% tariff, might dump its products into Europe. A double blow for our economy. But you know what's ironic? We did this to ourselves. We built an economic system dependent on the outside world, and now the boomerang is coming back, and I can prove it. Trump waved around a chart of the effective tariffs each country imposes on the US. It looked serious, scientific, but do you know how they calculated those numbers? A middle school level division. Trade deficit divided by total imports. That's it. Here's an example. The US has a $295 billion trade deficit with China on $438 billion of imports. Divide that and you get 67.3%. Voila, China's effective tariff, according to Trump. Total nonsense that has nothing to do with real tariffs. And the kicker? Even countries that buy more from the US than they sell are being punished with tariffs. It's like finding a friend who lent you more money than you lent them. The US closed 2024 with a $1.21 trillion trade deficit, $235 billion of that with the EU. To Trump, trade is a zero-sum game. If Europe wins, America loses. No middle ground. His VP openly attacked European values. Democracy, integration, cooperation, outdated in their view. This administration is actively supporting movements trying to dismantle the EU from within. The infamous Make Europe Great Again movement. Not a joke, it's a strategy. Trump longs for the world of superpowers and satellite states. Europe, just a nuisance to ignore. But the world has changed. It's multipolar, interconnected. Snubbing Europe isn't just a bad economic move. It's a huge geopolitical risk. Do I know how this will end? Absolutely not. And anyone who tells you they do is lying. But here's what I'm doing. I'm buying. I've got cash. And I'm putting it to work. I've had the same strategy for 15 years. Level 1, 10% correction. I use 1/3 of my liquidity. Level 2, 20, 25% drop. I deploy another third. Level 3, over 30% crash. I go in with the final third. That's what I can control. The rest, pure speculation. What the US and Europe really need are real industrial policies, not tariffs. Modern manufacturing isn't your grandpa's factory. It's automated. A modern plant doesn't need thousands of workers. Global competitors, China, Germany, Korea, have invested in cutting-edge tech. The US, clinging to last century's playbook. Most companies will likely do something very simple, absorb the tariff, raise prices, and keep producing where it's cheaper. End of story. Usually, tariffs strengthen the domestic currency. But here comes the wild card Trump didn't factor in. Trust. Investors no longer trust the US. Fewer capital inflows, less confidence in growth, and the dollar falls. And the irony? A weaker dollar makes imports even more expensive. Tariffs up, dollar down, a double whammy for American consumers. If Trump doesn't back down. Yeah, it's 100% going to get worse. Europe's already preparing countermeasures. France and Germany are ready to fight back. India's watching. China has already hit back with mirror tariffs. Remember the Smoot-Hawley Act of 1930? No? That's okay. It was a tariff package meant to protect the US economy. The result? It deepened the Great Depression. Let's hope we don't repeat the same mistakes. But history tends to repeat itself when we ignore it. Ironically, this could play straight into China's hands. As the US isolates itself, China is opening new doors. It's already in talks with Japan and Korea. Europe could be next. China is ahead in robotics, batteries, rare earths, AI. It controls the minerals key to the green transition. Trump wanted to weaken Beijing. He might end up doing the exact opposite. Will prices go up? Yes, across the board. Food, medicine, transportation, electronics, everything will cost more. And who will feel the pain most? The vulnerable, the ones already struggling to make ends meet. Not just families, but small businesses too. Craftsmen, local shops. I foresee thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of jobs at risk in Europe. Trump says he's open to dialogue. But he wants others to make the call. He wants phenomenal proposals. History shows us tariff walls create more problems than they solve. As someone once said, you don't make America great by making Americans pay more. Knowing Trump, he's not the type to admit he's wrong. But let's hope this time he makes an exception. I truly hope this is just a bluff, that markets are pricing in a fear that never materializes. Drop a comment below with your questions. I might make a follow-up video soon. Subscribe to the channel.